So what if you could take that brilliant app idea that's been rattling around in your head and turn it into a real working product without writing a single line of code? Well, today we're diving into a wild new method that's making that a reality. It's called vibe coding.
You know the feeling, right? You're in the shower, on a walk, and bam, the perfect idea hits you. A game-changing website, a killer app, or maybe just a simple little tool that would make your life so much easier. And then reality sets in. You hit the coding wall. For most of us, that's where the idea just fizzles out. But what if it didn't have to? Well, this is where a new concept called vibe coding steps onto the scene. And trust me, it is completely changing the rules of the game.
So what in the world is vibe coding? It's honestly as simple as it sounds. You just describe the vibe of what you want to build. In plain English. You basically have a conversation with an AI agent, and it does all the heavy lifting, writing the code, structuring the files, the whole shebang. This quote just nails it. That huge gap that used to exist between your idea and a real product that people can actually use, it's shrinking so fast, it's almost unbelievable. And listen, this is way more than just the AI writing some code. Tools like Replit are basically building an all-in-one factory for your ideas. I mean, think about it. Normally, you'd have to worry about servers, dependencies, deploying, all that technical stuff. This AI handles all of it. You can literally go from a simple thought in your head to a live link on the internet.
Okay, so that's the big promise. But how does this thing actually work? What does it feel like to build an app this way? Let's walk through it.
The whole workflow is basically just a conversation. You start by describing your vision. The AI then acts like your very own developer, sketching out a plan and building the first version. Then it's your turn. You test it out and give feedback just like you would to a person. Hey, this button's broken, or can we make this background blue? And the AI just gets right back to work. Get this. Here's a real-world example. A user just typed, "Create a learning app for flashcards and quizzes." In less than 5 minutes. 5 minutes! They had a live, working tool that could generate flashcards and quizzes on any topic, complete with a final score. All from one sentence. Insane.
Okay, so it's good for simple tools, but what about something more visual? Like a website for a small business, maybe a personal trainer?
Right, now here's where things get really wild. The AI's first design, it was okay, but not great. So instead of trying to describe all the changes with words, the user just found a website they liked, took a screenshot, and pasted it right into the chat. The AI instantly understood the vibe and completely redesigned the site based on that one image. For anyone who isn't a designer, that is an absolute game changer. And this whole space is just blowing up. To give you a super quick map, think of Replit as your all-in-one powerhouse for a full project. Lovable is built for pure speed, perfect if you just want to get a prototype out in minutes. And Cursor, that's for folks who already know how to code but want a crazy powerful AI assistant right by their side.
All right, this all sounds a little too good to be true, doesn't it? Like, is it really this perfect hands-off experience? Let's get real for a minute and do a little reality check.
So here's the biggest takeaway. You're not just a passive observer here, you're the director of the show. The AI is an incredibly powerful tool, for sure, but it's not a mind reader. You have to be the one to test everything, find the flaws, and give really clear, specific feedback to guide it toward what you actually want. And yeah, you're definitely going to run into some hiccups. For instance, one AI was asked for a fitness trainer site, but it built one for a generic personal coach. Another one just got stuck in a loop trying to fix a simple profile picture. Now, these aren't deal breakers, but they totally prove that you still need human pilot in the cockpit. And this gets to the real heart of it. You may not need to be a coder anymore, but you do need to think like a designer, a project manager, and a quality tester. The skill is shifting. It's not about how well you can write code anymore. It's about the quality of your ideas and how well you can communicate them. So this all leads us to the million-dollar question that everyone's asking. Is this the end of coding as we know it? Let's look at the verdict. So here's the bottom line, right now, today. For speed, for prototyping, for simple projects, these AI agents are incredible. They are the perfect way to get an idea out of your head and into the world fast. But for super complex, highly secure, or pixel-perfect applications, the human touch is still king. For now, a developer working on this tech said something that just perfectly captures this moment. He said, "This is scary, this is cool, and this is only the beginning." As powerful as all this seems, we are just at the starting line.
And the pace of change here, it's just breathtaking. Experts aren't talking about years for the next big leap forward. They're talking about months, 6 to 12 months. A lot of those limitations we just talked about, they could be gone by this time next year. That's how fast this is all moving.
Which leaves us with one last kind of provocative thought. For generations, if you had a great idea but couldn't code, you had to go find a technical co-founder. But as we move forward, you really have to wonder, will the most crucial partner for the next wave of entrepreneurs be an AI?